Good morning, Tuvalu, and welcome back to Doctor Who, Series 5, Episode 3, Victory of the Daleks. We've got Daleks, we've got Churchill, Winston Churchill, the man who dares ask the question, what if Hitler was one of the good guys? But right now, Caden is desperately trying to figure out bonk, 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 what episode of Doctor Who this is. You've started going past the time. Here. Doomsday. It is not, but, you did beat me the first one. Okay. I will be... Actually, no. If you really, really give it a think, there is only one episode that this could possibly be. Well, that helmet looks a bit off, doesn't it? There is one episode, I believe, in the modern era that this could be. Sometimes I think I should just, be live for this part. This is what we do when you're listening to the ambience. I mean, you're gonna have to do better than the one with the Daleks if you want to do a guess. By the way, chat, we got these instruments. That's where I got it. You've got this one that I would not have gotten it. I might have very lucky guessed. I would have gotten that one. And here's number 4. You want to guess Dalek? That is an episode. Dalek. What bars? It is Dalek. There we go! I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They have bars on the top and bottom. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Victory of the Daleks. I should address, before we start, that, yes, there is a new Star Trek. And yes, I have not been reviewing it. I didn't think I would have to directly address it. I've done it at a few points in community, in comments, but it keeps coming up. I don't plan to review Academy. The reasons are twofold. The hard reason is I do not have the budget for Paramount Plus. Even if you just donated whatever that subscription cost is, I wouldn't do it. But no, that's a hard reason. But also, I just don't want to. Honestly, you probably if you're interested enough to ask. I mean, that last season of Strange New Worlds with the cancellation of Lower Decks and Prodigy just has got me really disillusioned with the modern Star Treks. Those last few, I don't think I've even seen that finale for Strange New Worlds yet. That last few streams I did just made it so clear how much Starfleet and the Federation just simply do not exist anymore, and how they have been withered away since Discovery came out. Even the good Lower Decks and Prodigy would have their problems. But I mean, that What Is Starfleet in particular is the obvious example, but I mean all of them. And I am very busy now. I would have done Doctor Who anyway. Doctor Who isn't preventing Star Trek. But no, I'm not going to force myself to do it when I'm not interested. I've heard it's good, but very young adult. And if you watch some of my streams about the announcement of Academy, they might have been videos. I've literally never liked a depiction of the Academy in any Star Trek. And my biggest worry is that they'd make it stereotypical American high school, which has felt 40 years out of date. It's 20 years ago, it felt out of date to me. If I was actually alive in the 80s, it probably would have felt out of date to me, but it's definitely not like Starfleet Academy. And apparently that's basically what the Academy is. So, yeah, I just don't plan on reviewing it. Caden, welcome. Welcome. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you how Iron Lung was on stream. But I was like, that's Markiplier. Yeah. Well, there we go. I haven't seen it. There you go. Stellar review. 10. There we go. That's all you're gonna get. Well, I don't know. I guess you won't, probably don't want to spoil Iron Lung. That's kind of new. But I feel like there was Doctor Who news. I really do. But by God, if I can think of it, they announced the 11th Doctor Big Finish stuff. We got some details of that. So I guess there's no news. No, I don't know why. I really feel like there's something. Oh no, it's this Victory of the Daleks. It's probably that this is. I want to say this before we get into the episode. This is a Mark Gatiss episode, Victory of the Daleks. We've had a few. Unquiet Dead. There we go. That was Gatiss. List of Doctor Who episodes. Mark Gatiss is a writer I've said before. He's got a reputation for like fine at best episodes of Doctor Who. He's also an actor, but I don't think he's appeared yet. Idiot's Lantern. That was Mark Gatiss. Remember the TVs? Hungry, The Wire. Yeah, you just gave, I think, is exactly the reputation Mark Gatiss has, and I'll contest it. I mean, he's also written the book Nightshade, which is arguably one of the best Virgin New Adventure. So far, it's my favorite. But it's always given with and it was written by Mark Gatiss of all people. You know, that's kind of the reputation of a writer that he has. But that book, genuinely phenomenal. Nightshade. But I'll defend Gatiss a lot. I quite like his scripts. I mean, I'll say I don't think there's any that's like, you know, the best, like a Blink or something. But this is not one of those times. This is one of those times where I'm like, you know, I don't think it's bad. I haven't seen it in a while. I think it's the weakest of season 5 we've said, but that has probably more to do with what season 5 is. I don't know, put this in season 2 and it's stronger, but that's season 2. But yeah, that I always forget to talk about the authors. It's now time though, I think. If you don't know what we're doing, we are basically going to be recording an audio commentary track live. So, for legal reasons, of course, I can't just stream an episode of Doctor Who. There'll be that blurred version in the background once we get the episode going and the time bar on screen. So in a little bit, after we ramble, we're going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, everyone's going to hit play. And we'll stay synced up. Except... check right now. If you hit play and you've got that little speech Amy has, gosh, I'm going to have to say this for the next, 3 months. Little speech Amy has about imaginary friends and whatever, just play to the end of that, because I don't have that on the discs. That might be after the cold open, though. Maybe you should check that, before we get into it, but it's not like anywhere streams Doctor Who nowadays, so who knows. But also... there are 2 versions of every episode. There is the original UK broadcast and the original US broadcast. They are exactly the same, except the US broadcast is actually the one that has that Amy speech. I don't know if all streaming platforms would play that, but if you have the Amy thing, you are the US version. But also the US version is about 4% slower than the UK version. So, you might drift if you got the UK version. Streaming services generally had the American version, historically speaking. But, yes, that is the deal. Oh, yes, and Stephen, you have a Stephen O'Neill. I've just got it. I'm like, you have one of those names that when there's no spaces... it's really hard for me to figure out where one thing stops and the other ends. Today would have been Elizabeth Sladen's 80th birthday. Elizabeth Sladen, of course, played Sarah Jane Smith, the beloved 4th Doctor companion and side character for the Sarah Jane Smith adventures. And because it's her 80th birthday, it's probably best I don't describe my opinions on Sarah Jane further. I see BBC 3 are continuing Matt Smith's 2nd season this Saturday with Night Terrors. That's a Gatiss script, right? I really like Night Terrors. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Yeah, see, if you remember it, it must be good. I don't know. Is that considered a, you know what? Screw this. Night Terrors. I got TARDIS Guide open because I was going to see what Victory of the Daleks is rated when we're done. Uh, 2.92. What do you guys have against Mark Gatiss? What did Mark Gatiss do to you? That's a good episode, Night Terrors. Screw you. Thank you, Stephen O'Neill, for the chat. Followed by The Girl Who Waited. That's one. I feel like that's one. That's one I feel like will kind of be like the Satan Pit, where I don't remember it being particularly strong. I know it's got a great reputation, but it's probably just because I haven't seen it in ages. And like remembering the plot isn't as interesting as watching it. Less than 3 stars for Night Terrors. What's wrong with people, Caden? What is wrong with people putting their opinions out on the internet that when they're... I know. That's just wrong. I'm actually curious. You know what I'm going to do? People have got to figure out if they've got that American version or not. I'm actually going to do written by Mark Gatiss. I guess I can't check Victory of the Daleks, but what is Mark Gatiss's best TV script? He's done 9 of them. Unquiet Dead, 3.29. Okay, at least Idiot's Lantern is worse than Nine Terrors. Oh, I just saw the score for Victory of the Daleks. It's not as good as Night Terrors. Cold War, 3.1. Oh, I actually like Cold War too. I thought people didn't like that. Crimson Horror, 2.89. Robot of Sherwood, 3.25. Is it Robot of Sherwood? It is. It's the... Actually, no, it's Unquiet Dead. So apparently, Caden, with Mark Gatiss, it's all downhill from here. But most of his stories are less than 3 stars. All of his stories are less than 3.3 TV stories. So, you know, he's got a reputation. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty dependable. Like, he's not gonna write Heaven Sent unless apparently it's a book, but you know, it's solid. It's solid. I like his scripts. You know, you'll have to see. This is maybe a bad episode to praise him. Eden, your channel are showing Planet of the Spiders on Wednesday. Yes, that's one I feel was kind of average. It's fine. It's fine. I don't remember. Is that a 4-part? Okay. I said that one. Anything with Elizabeth, with Sarah Jane Smith in it, I think is like average with 1 or 2 exceptions. And I think there might be a correlation. I'm not the biggest fan. Shall we begin? Because I probably shouldn't dilly-dally too long. Well, no. We shouldn't begin, Caden. Because I haven't... yeah, Victory of the Daleks. I mean... You know, from the last episode's little tease and the title, you know, you can probably guess what it's about. But Stephen Moffat, of course, still pretty new, episode 3. Still established, you know, he's a little worried trying to establish himself as a showrunner. And one thing that tends to happen with the Daleks since, like, the 60s is that they'll just get a little bit more of a joke, you know, and a little less threatening as time goes on. Mild hot take. I think Davies did this pretty well through his era with his Dalek stories. So, you know, Moffat's got to continue. It really show people that, like, the Daleks are a threat, right? So he decided to write an episode, Victory of the Daleks, where the Daleks win, like, hard, you know, and really just establish... Yeah, a little. He waited a little bit. You know, you got to establish the Doctor first. You can't have him just lose right away. So we established Doctor, then Amy. Now it's the Daleks, right? And of course, it has Winston Churchill because for some reason he's a beloved historical figure to the Brits. You really got to specify to the Brits, of course, like with any racist. But it was decided that it would feel really crushing if Churchill was also defeated, you know. So in this episode, there's just a series of losses for the Doctor and Churchill as they face the Daleks in, like, bingo, charades, tiddlywinks. I don't know what this is, but they're always talking about Twiddlywinks in the UK. It's some sort of children's game, and they play it, and I still don't know what it is, you know. And Stephen O'Neill, what is Twiddlywinks? If you could let me know. Like the what's the one with Twister? That one? I think they might call it something else in the UK. The one with the spots. Well, that's the thing, right? Like you wouldn't. The doctor keeps trying to come up with things that he's a shoe-in to win. And they just keep winning until they just leave victorious. You know, they've emptied the doctor of all his pockets. They're like all the bets. You know, the Sonic. That's how he gets a new Sonic. Is he loses the 10th Doctor's one in a bet. Don't remember him getting it earlier. And of course, big finish way down the line. They've got a line with 11th Doctor and Valerie. I've heard it's very good. I haven't heard it myself. But they've got a sort of follow-up called Victory of the Doctor, where Valerie is so good at all these games, they finally get to win. I know. So little tease there. I don't want it to be too depressing today, but yeah. Stephen O'Neill hasn't told me what Twiddlywinks is, so we'll never know. We'll never know. It's always Big Finish who brings it up. I've never seen a game of Twiddlywinks. I'm gonna Twiddlywinks. Oh, I should have had safe search on. No, okay. Okay, it looks like you'd throw some discs in like a circle, maybe. Oh. Okay. England, this looks like an old game, right? And you're too posh to have a children's game with all these words in it, right? It sounds a bit dirty. And that's just not you, England. That's just not... Is that how they get it all out back in, like, Victorian times, you know? It's through Twiddlywinks. No, I genuinely think the UK audience wants to come for Americans discovering Twiddlywinks. This can be like a donation goal. Maybe if we get like $20, we'll do a stream where we play Twiddlywinks. We won't, but don't. That's not a promise. If you donate an impressive enough amount of money, Caden and I will play Twiddlywinks on stream. But it's probably more than it's gonna be. All right. I've got to wake up my hard drive. Caden, don't look. Don't look at this. No, don't look. That's the important telephone. Yeah, no, you're actually not supposed to look. I don't know why it's so hard for you. No, stop. Okay. Oh, goodness. I've just expanded the time bar. Oh, God. How did I do that? Chat. Okay, I fixed it. No! Okay. Okay, we're good. Note to self, don't draw the thumbnail art over that button. As I said before, we're about to do a little bit of a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, everyone is going to hit play, and some of you are going to be real upset when Amy starts telling you about her imaginary friend, and that is your own fault. I feel no sympathy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, cool. My headphones kind of... Okay, there we go. Hard drive took a second to catch up. All right, you haven't seen this, right? I'll say, I think this one is also often a very easy guess, because it's got, for that, like, Hoodle game, because it's got these, this sort of sepia filter over it. It looks good. I will say that. Maybe it's all the cigarette smoke that makes it a bit foggy. Wait, I'm sorry. I saw in the map in the background, I swear there's a battle plan where from Portugal, they're gonna launch an attack into the Atlantic Ocean. Those fiends! Strategy. I mean, it's probably to defend Gibraltar, or some set designer just didn't really think. I really do like... Yeah, it feels like we finally got the intro. I love the music. It's got lightning. That's intentional. Like, it's supposed to be a little more chaotic and dangerous, which is why you have the lightning. And if you ever get versions of that intro without the lightning, it just sounds wrong. By the way, the guy they cast for Churchill is great. He looks like him. I think he plays the part well. Look, I promise this episode won't just be complaining about Winston Churchill, but like the Doctor would absolutely hate the guy. I meant to look up some quotes about his opinions on like India and all the people he killed, raping it for food, but this is the first time we've seen Churchill, by the way. No. No. He does a decent chunk of light. He's actually got his own Big Finish range, come to think about it. But he does a fair amount. He looks... I don't know, that open mouth, it just looks a bit... I don't know. It looks like he's kind of confused about everything. Busy man. I gotta love that map of England specifically on the wall as well. There you go. 2. Nah. We don't need to see that. I think they are being... I don't know, does the Blitz count as an invasion? He's got a good speech voice, this actor. I haven't heard a lot of, like, the actual Winston Churchill, but I think I've heard snippets. What? He's just having a good time. A rare daytime blitz. They might have actually happened, I don't know. But... I don't know, chat, they ever do a daytime blitz? Oh. Yeah, but I mean in the day you can see the targets. Got him. This was the first Dalek I 3D printed. I do like the Ironside design. I forgot they have little cloth on their ears, though. It's a good concept. Go to World War II, Daleks are working for Churchill. I mean, they share a lot of the same opinions, so it does make sense. I do love my little Ironside Dalek. I think I've put that on a on stream or something in the community tab. I mean, Churchill would have sided with the Daleks. I think he's going to give his quote about siding with the devil. All right, open one up. I've never thought about this, but do the Daleks have to eat? Do they have to, like, get out of their casing to have a little nibble? I don't know. It's probably like, I don't know, they're hooked up to a nuclear reactor in their casing or something, but these are the questions I need to know. I love the grenades on the Dalek. He's not gonna use them. I was like, can we appreciate what must be like the most top secret of projects? Radar was so secret that they invented that whole carrots improve your eyes thing to hide it, but he put the Dalek on a poster. How's my audio? Okay, no, I think I'm good. You can buy those, by the way. They don't move, but yeah, you can buy Dalek replicas, including the iron sides. If you want to drop like 10 grand, but yeah. Welcome to the Moffat era where modern day Earth just isn't gonna progress. I know. I don't like it. That's one of the best things Davies does. Well, did, I guess. He doesn't really do it anymore. Um a lot of people say you kind of have to have the modern day ignore this, but like you don't. Look at season 4 Davies. Oh, there's a like it gets explained, but we're approaching the era where it's just like, humans forget, you know. I've never thought of it, but you really could just open the casing and prove your point. Maybe it's locked, but then the Dalek would refuse it, you know? And that would be evidence. No. He wasn't in that. I was just some guy. They might have referenced him, but no. He does seem a little bit confused all the time, though. Maybe Churchill was just like that. I don't know. Hey, there's that quote that I mentioned. Like, he genuinely would have sided with the Daleks if they would have helped him. There you go. It is. I don't know if I want to say slow, but it's one of those where there's not as much to talk about. I don't know. Victory of the Daleks is just one of those that kind of feels a bit off the whole time in a way I can't really explain. You know? Maybe. Yeah, Moffat in particular goes down a lot of routes like that with the Doctor and the Daleks. I don't really want to get into too many of them, like later on, no spoils, but what was last time? Journey's End? I guess he's just learned that the Dalek Empire is back. I mean, I think they all died, but we're just going to ignore that from now on because it's now Moffat era time. Actually, no, we're not. We're not going to ignore that. I forgot. I want a Dalek that serves me tea. Does that? Oh, that Dalek does have ears. Okay. Have we seen the Doctor get angry? Yeah, we had the Beast below, but this is like, I don't know, the Daleks are a different level of anger, you know? It just kind of makes me want to have seen Ncuti Gadwa against a Dalek, you know? He has the one kind of like getting real angry scene, but it doesn't really work for me, and it might have worked better if it was a Dalek. I mean, to be honest, even the 11th Doctor here, I feel is almost a little off. I don't know if he's ever this violent towards the Daleks. I mean, that's future episodes that change him, but almost I wonder if I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Gatiss might have been writing for 10. I don't know that, but that would not have surprised me. I'm getting more 10 vibes. Cuz 11 gets angry, but not quite like this. Maybe that's what it is that makes it feel off to me. Because we're going to get to the Chibnall episode in a little bit. And I also think that that's not the 11th Doctor. That's the 13th Doctor, is played by Matt Smith. Because, of course, it's a Chibnall script. That's not surprising. But, yeah. Gosh, we're already at this point of the episode. No, the moon's an egg. I love that they like kept the 60s saucers for the Daleks. I've said this before. To be honest, even the 60s didn't really stick to that all the time, but I do respect it. That's what baby Daleks look like. I was telling Alex, I'm honestly surprised we've never seen a tiny baby Dalek. I know that's not how they'd work, but there's a lot of bad Dalek episodes out there, you know? Do you know how, like, the BBC could sell it? Like, do you know how much people would love that, you know? From, like, oh my goodness. From, like, a merchandising perspective? Caden, wait, hang on. Twiddlywinks began as a Victorian parlor game in the 19th century England, and they were quite a lot of versions of it, as game publishers came out with their own versions under different names. So yeah, it was a bunch of, like, grown Englishmen in a bar having a bit of a giggle about some silly names. Because that wasn't, like, English silly names. That was, like, you know, kind of, I like that remix of I Am the Doctor. That was very, like, you know, kind of naughty English names. Boom, 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 boom. I don't like the interior of this spaceship. I'll say that as well. This just... You get a beautiful interior through the Russell T Davies area, and this is, like, a nice back room at the new BBC building, you know? And the ceiling is too small. Oh, look at that. Map of Scotland hiding in the back. Yeah. Sounds like Churchill. See? We don't need that map. It's got the other countries. We just need England. Can he fit the TARDIS? Can he fit the TARDIS in that small Dalek room? Sometimes I think about, like, how it must have been kind of hard to get the TARDIS prop in some of these places. Yes, but it's not designed to. I think I've seen it in behind the scenes and stuff, like on the back of trucks and stuff. Like, it's just wood. You could take it apart. But the 11th Doctors in particular look sturdy, you know? Twiddlywinks is a traditional tabletop game of skill and strategy for 2 or 4 players, not 3. Maybe it's more intense than I thought. Like, they're almost gonna hit their head on the light. Oh, I see. You can't fit the TARDIS in the room, so we're just gonna kind of ignore the top there. All right, now, Caden, I'm gonna have to explain something right here. Just take a look at that little cookie thing, right? We'll come back to it, actually. It is a cookie, yes. It is a cookie. He's gonna call it a jammy dodger, and it's very clearly not a jammy dodger. Which is really weird. We still got 20 minutes. Is this a short episode? Yeah, it's only like 40 minutes in America. Yeah, I'll let you get the prot. It is a baby Dalek. That Dalek's that Dalek's a little bit messed up. And look at those little black slits; they're kind of crooked. They need to build a new Dalek. Do you think they were like, get the kind of bunged up Dalek? We'll paint that one. Yeah, that's a little weird. It's if that was in a modern Russell T Davies plot, we'd all slam it, you know. To be fair, we do that's like one of the most common complaints about this episode is like, why does it work like this? Gosh, two air raids in a day. Can you imagine being part of the second air raid? Now, right, I know nobody from the last air raid came back and they were all killed instantly, but you gotta succeed, you know? It was fine. Oh, you don't have the Daleks, I guess. Okay, look, they're invading the Atlantic. Well, genuinely, no, because then the Nazis can see the targets, right? So, look, they're invading the Atlantic. Sorry, did you see that? That arrow goes into the middle of the Atlantic. There's another world where this episode is they just fire like one laser at London and it blows up. Look at they're invading the Atlantic. So is America though, so you know. Maybe we're late into the war. The seal okay, is it me? Is the ceiling so short that the Daleks now look short? It might be that Matt Smith's just taller than Rose was, because the Dalek's eye line was designed to be at Rose's height. I think he's one of the taller doctors, Matt Smith. All right, Caden, I'm just gonna let you take this bit. I'm gonna let you take this one. I'll try my best. We gotta hear what we gotta hear. It's just Nicholas Briggs, the actor for the Daleks, voice actor. Hello, I'm Nicholas Briggs. Mm-hmm. Well, oh my gosh, Caden, how long have you been?
There's multiple.
How long have you been muted for?
What?
I did unmute you at the start of the stream, but we got your reaction for this.
Oh, they got the whole Roy G. Biv. Oh,
go Power Rangers! You loving it?
Those are a little too whimsically colored to be murder machines. I feel like
you don't like the new Dalek design.
It's too, like not really ominous, not really scary.
Right. That is the new Dalek design, and they're about to be immediately phased out. Reaction was very negative. I am sorry, by the way. I don't think Caden is saying anything important. I hope it didn't ruin it. I have no idea how long he's been muted, because I did unmute. I swear I unmuted him at the start, and I have nothing to do to fix that. But at least we got your
You didn't-
reaction to the new Daleks.
Oh no, I guess I wouldn't have been in the recording either.
I hope you got
I've been
your.
having a great time, guys. I've been having a great time.
You need to start recording it. Of all the episodes to have that kind of blunder. I don't think I have a hotkey. Hang on. Oh, I don't want to hit hotkeys while I have the thing open. No, so apparently those Daleks work a lot better in person, and their best qualities just do not translate. They're tall, which makes them imposing. They're designed to be... Their eye line is at Amy's eye line, which makes them a lot taller than Rose. The colors are meant to denote different ranks and stuff. Like there's like scientists or like special weapons or whatever leaders. I don't really like that concept. I feel like it's kind of important the Daleks are like pretty samey, but I don't know, maybe it could have worked. They're I don't know if you noticed, their eye stalk has like an actual eye in it now. That is kind of cool.
Oh. I gotta look for that.
But look at that humped back. That's the part. You just cannot forgive that humped back. Yeah. I've seen some
good voice.
And yeah, they're like my pug, you know? It's just a little chunky. Some people have done like redesigns. Big Finish has got one where it's a more metallic and darker colors. And they're just the design's tweaked a little and it works a lot better. But yeah, we're gonna get those Time War Daleks soon.
Yeah, they are thick.
Fix the spine, and they really do get a lot better. I think they were kind of based off the movie design as well. Oh, it doesn't help that they're even, like, this room is so small for them. But, maybe, unfortunately, I think these Daleks have kind of scared a lot of people from trying to redesign them, because the Time War Daleks are still the Daleks today. I like the design. They work great for the Time War. I understand the logical reasons why they probably shouldn't look like this anymore. And in fact, this kind of smoother thing arguably works better. But, I don't know, they're so iconic now, you know? For the tone of the narrative, Mark Gatiss looked into classic British war movies, such as The Dam Busters and Where Eagles Dare. No wonder this is like the most light-hearted depiction of World War II I've ever seen. Working titles for the episode were The Dalek Project and The Dalek Tea Party. The Dalek Tea Party is an episode. It's a mini Dalek episode. Where, like, it was a Blue Peter, I think, where someone made, like, a kid made a Dalek cake or something that won a competition, and the Daleks have a tea party, and they get insecure what the universe will think about them, and it's 5 out of 5 stars. I think there's also a weird special where they just do a dance. It's great. Go to TARDIS Guide and just look at all the old free stories that are out there. Oh yeah, if you haven't... Go ahead.
The Dalek hits the little light above him.
Yeah, if you haven't put it together yet, this episode exists purely to introduce these Daleks that are about to be phased out faster than you can say, like, Winston Churchill was Hitler or whatever I said at the start. We do actually kind of see them scattered about through the Matt Smith era, I think. Oh, here we go. So Scientist was orange, Strategist was blue, Drone was red. See, I don't know. I feel like they should all kind of be drones, but Eternal was yellow, whatever that means, and Supreme was white. It would be, you know, the... Yeah, actually, it's off. In the past, it was the Black Dalek that was the leader one. Look, I don't write the rules.
This is...
Yeah?
It feels like a modern Davies episode.
Like Russell T.
Davies.
Season? if Russell T Davies would have written it, but it would have been like 10 times more epic, and you wouldn't have had the plot on the ground.
Seeing
Except
these planes
it would
in
have been
space really just feels
instead of Churchill, it would have been like I don't know, Vicky somehow is like in World War II, and it wouldn't be explained, and you'd have 10 minutes of that, and then all the planes would go into space. Well, I said we weren't going to talk about Davies. It's the Moffat era. No, as I said, I mean this is probably the weakest Gatiss episode that's not Sleep No More. To me. I mean, I don't really know what episode I'd write to introduce the new Daleks. I think it's that it's World War II, but almost like a British propaganda film version of World War II, like at the time. Churchill being not Churchill isn't the best. That's like, I could get past that though. It's just the introduction was so botched, and that's kind of the core of the episode, you know?
I do have a good voice.
Less Brits died in World War II than World War I. That's interesting. Is it because you guys mostly stayed on your island, and so it's just kind of the Blitz and Air Force deaths? I'm not sure. That makes sense. I know he's a bomb. Like, he's pretty entertaining, but there aren't. You know, that also kind of sounds like a Davies line. Is this just Russell T Davies, but pretending to be Mark Gatiss? I don't know, Web of Time, all that. This is kind of the worst, a worse version of the Parting of Ways. You know? Is that just me? Make me a bacon sandwich. Make me a bacon sandwich. Sorry, we're getting the Dalek chant music. I didn't think we kept that theme for the Daleks, but the make me a bacon sandwich joke also doesn't work when it's trumpets and not chanting. You think his family's gonna believe him?
No. No,
Turns out Hitler wasn't the first nation in space. It was the Brits. I mean, any scene gets better when you start playing I Am the Dalek. I'm the Dalek? No, I'm the Doctor. What? Is that Grayson?
So mean.
Can we appreciate, though, that they gave him, like, a full anatomy, judging by that scan? Huh?
He didn't need to punch him in the face, I'm still seeing.
No, that was necessary. I do love that they appear to have given him, like, quite the butt, but, you know, nothing's up front. He's a Ken doll. They just, like, found a Ken doll, and that's what they based Grayson off of. It's okay effects for the time, I think, you know?
Winston.
What?
Read the room, man.
Well, I mean, it's a good point, you know? Well, it all started when I was born. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they put such a long timer on this bomb man.
I still every time I've looked at that timer, I keep thinking about like how quickly we've gotten to this point, but also how much episode is left. Like I don't know. It's
Mm.
like the episode is that the Doctor comes to World War II. The Daleks are working for Churchill. He gets angry. The Daleks make new Daleks and then they leave. That's the episode, you know?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could
He
unscrew
just
that
made his
bit.
last moments remembering the most painful parts of his life,
Well, you
and it blow
know,
up.
would you rather remember this moment? You're a filthy little pervert, I know. That's right, I know you.
What are you talking about?
Actually, I would
Spoiler game.
given this a 5 out of 5 if it was Churchill. If he had a thing for Churchill. 5 out of 5. 6 out of 5. I would have made up for the whole episode. That's my niece. That's my Churchill impression. Is this Rose's theme? Almost
Yeah, he met her
12
when she was
years
here for the
old.
Blitz.
No. I remember the description of her sounding really young. And I'm like, I hope you were young. But maybe it's just because her name is Dorabella. That sounds like a little girl's name, but from the past. This actually is. This is not a Moffat, a Davies move. Like, I don't know. You remembered fake being in love. So wait, he wasn't even
Yeah,
in love. That was like a memory, a fake memory.
yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. Also, Amy definitely loves the Doctor right now. Oh wait, shoot, is that this episode? No. Okay, good. Right, never mind. Don't worry about it. I think the net two-parter is going to end a little early next week. Churchill is definitely going to send this guy to Berlin to blow up, right? Like, that's the Churchill move. He literally sided with the Daleks. In fact, I wonder what Churchill would even think about this, like, alien bomb working for him, because he was a massive racist. Churchill is Hitler if he was handed, like, ownership of the world, is honestly how I see him, you know? Like, Churchill didn't have to take it over. He was just, well, I guess he was elected, but, so he was given it, you know? He would, no, I think the answer might be to try and, like, disassemble Churchill. Is that Iwo Jima? That was definitely, which one was that? That was World War II, was it? I've been there and I don't remember what war that monument's for. It was definitely our flag, but I don't remember what the battle
Quiet,
was.
please. There's a "Be
Yeah, well,
quiet" plaque in
people are
there.
doing wars, you know.
I don't know, I feel like
I
yeah,
think
I don't know.
I
In
think
the
their
war room.
planes are rather discoordinated on the bottom there. Well, that's cheery. Is there a point to that?
And they're gonna
Gatiss was
go
like, you know
he's
what?
gonna make the Doctor go save a guy.
This episode's been too cheery. I know there's like a huge like history implied between them, but it does feel weird to me that like You're like the prime minister living through World War II. You don't know how long, how hard it's gonna be, even who's gonna win. And he's so cheery, like, "Oh, you could stop this, but you know, it just doesn't really read to me, you know." Like,
Mhm.
forget anything about Churchill specifically. Like, even the companions kind of struggle to internalize this, you know, that they
Mhm.
can't help. Imagine when you're not even like you are the present day, you know? You're gonna lose the election. You know what? I kind of want a comedy from Big Finish where Churchill does steal the key and he's just like a kind of farcical chase. Second Doctor would work great chasing him, but it's like some farcical chase of Churchill trying to get away with the TARDIS and win World War II. Well, actually, this is a good
Ooh, this
bit.
guy looks sad. He looks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I did forget about this scene. I quite like it. What is this? Is someone's theme as well. Chat, what's this piece of music? I can't place it. Just starts bawling.
Yeah, that would crumble.
You don't get it? You must be Dalek. Take Caden. Might take 50 years, you know.
I was nervous for a second that they were gonna go save that guy's life, but there's 2
Nervous?
minutes in the episode. He's dead.
Oh yeah, he just died.
Yeah, he's dead. They made like such a big deal of his death. I mean, you know,
Did they?
tragedy.
Did they? I
They
mean,
mentioned it like 3 times.
you must care then. I'm surprised they didn't mention the girl was pregnant, you know? It's just
That's just they had a whole arc with Tenet about how you can't really do that, and then I was like,
she
they're
was
gonna do it.
pregnant and they were both one day away from retirement. I mean, so does Churchill, you know? You're Scottish. Your arch enemy is the English, you know? Yeah, that's what you said when you were a kid. I kind of feel like Victory of the Daleks is almost just kind of too off to be bad. You
Mm.
know? I think I'm not even. When is the next Dalek episode? Oh, I know. Okay, I got it. Who knows what that'll mean for like the waters of Mars, you know? When Adelaide Brooks was inspired by looking at a Dalek. We're starting to get to the I don't know. You could do so many good things when you use your show's own history. Like Adelaide Brooks is a great example of remembering the Dalek invasion.
Mm.
That's fine. You should get the Carpenter in.
Probably not good. I feel like
Yeah,
it's a load bearing wall.
it was a load-bearing piece of drywall. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was all right.
TARDIS Guide gave it a 2.79. Well, what it was it?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's just
It was fine. A little. I mean, it didn't do anything great, but it didn't do anything too offensive.
well, it's you don't hate the new Daleks that much then. um, yeah, I wasn't before my time, but the reaction to the new Daleks was really negative.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm at that negative. Like, if that came out today, I might say, we'll see, you know, give them time, you know, but,
Yeah.
their hunchback is the worst part. I mean, I could do,
Yeah.
Dalek New Paradigm, that is what they are called. People have done some redesigns. I know Stream can't see this, where they remove the hunchback. I guess there's one.
Mhm.
And I've seen plenty that really make it work. I can do Big Finish, Victory of the Doctor. Kind of has them in the background where it's a lot more muted, the colors. I think they work a lot
Yeah.
better. They're a little less hunchback. But apparently they're just stunning in person. And it wasn't really
Mhm.
till after this episode's broadcast and the fan reaction they kind of realized that none of their best attributes go. And some people who see them at
Mhm.
like displays or whatever are like, yeah, they are a lot better in person. Their like bulk and their scale and imposingness becomes chubby in screen, you know.
Yeah.
Um, you probably did need taller ones since both the Doctor and Amy are so tall compared to Rose and
It's
the
true.
Daleks. But yeah, it's a weak one, I think. I don't know. I'll have to think what I rate it, but it's just it's one of those where I can't tell you why, but it also just feels off. I think it is the way the Doctor reacts to the Daleks.
Yeah.
That anger, the anger could be 11. It just doesn't really come out like that. I do wonder if Mark Gatiss was writing for 10. I doubt it. I think if anything, he was writing, which often happens for either a Doctor they haven't cast yet, or a Doctor that you just don't really know what they're like, you know,
Yeah.
because either nothing's been written or just the first season hasn't come out. Yeah, and so often they will kind of fall back on what the last Doctor was. This has been a problem going way back, you know. Um, but not the greatest, I would say, unfortunately. I don't know if it's bad. If it's bad, it's like kind of the best that bad could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Uh,
Somewhere in the gray
yeah.
area.
Next week, we have got a two-parter, so I guess I can say it's not dinosaurs on a spaceship. We've got Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. We've got Weeping
Ooh,
Angels, which is a
Weeping Angels.
spoiler, but they put it in the title. We've got,
I remember an Amy Angel episode a
yep,
little
that's
bit.
this one. I
I think it was good if I
think this
remember.
is the last Weeping Angel to like Flux or something.
Oh.
You will not be seeing them for a good while. We've got River, first time with 11.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We've got the church. What are they? The Anglicans military that you see in 15. This is where they are introduced. They're in Boom. When Moffat does a
Oh.
bit of a best hits of his era. The Anglican Marines, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think this is where the concept of the church as the military in the future came from.
I remember the military, but I didn't remember it being the church military.
Yes. And I think it's the episode where they just like tell you who River is and like everything. And I genuinely don't know. I don't know if this is gonna come up really condescending, but I like. Is it supposed to have been a surprise, right? Who the
Uh-huh.
who River is to the Doctor? Um,
Mhm.
I genuinely don't know because it seems like it's so not. But in fact, I think it was mostly obvious in Silence of the Library. You just get a little extra context in this one. So
Yeah.
speaking of, have you ever listened to that Big Finish yet? The best
I
one of the
did, but
sets.
not
Oh,
the not the la not the not the
not the
no,
best
not that one
one
you're
that
talking
like
about.
was a reason
No,
I
not
gave
the best
them
one.
to you. Well,
That is correct.
yeah. That's it then. We will hopefully do both parts next week. We might
Mhm.
have to split them. but that will probably be something I learn on Sunday. So, there's also a small chance that there won't be a stream next week. Caden's learning this as well, but we keep having to reschedule an event because people keep getting sick. And so it might end up being Sunday because I think football season's done now. And football season has been saving me from having family events scheduled during the streams because
the football season's almost done. The Super Bowl still needs to happen, I believe.
Yeah. Did the Seahawks make it?
Yes.
There you go. I asked a sports question. See, so nothing's gonna be scheduled on Super Bowl Sunday. Hang on.
Yeah, it's on February 8th.
Seahawks are the local team. February 8th? Yeah. All right, so
next Sunday is the Super Bowl.
There will be a stream next Sunday unless something goes wrong, because they are not scheduling something over our state's Super Bowl. I think we haven't been in a while, but who knows. I will say thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.